Alright, I got the Sentry to level 13 now, and I think it really just looks way cooler now if you ask me. It's black and shiny, and it would be nice if I had a background to complement this, but I don't think any of the backgrounds that I unlocked so far is really good for this particular look. Maybe one of the ones I'll unlock later could be better, but yeah, I actually quite like it. It's my favorite looking node right now. So I just need a bit over 100k to upgrade the core. But before I do that, let's take a look at what the level 13 Sentry has done so far, because it's actually a pretty big difference compared to the level 12 Sentry. So, and as soon as I transitioned into the level 13, the difference was pretty immediately noticeable. Before I start, actually want to look at Shy 1207. This is more like a PSA, I guess, because I made a mistake. I posted on the forums that the time it takes to go from to get a level 6 Colgate down with a level 4 blaster is 35.66 seconds, when turns out I was actually extremely wrong. So I'm sorry if you're the person who read the post and tried to take down my Kobe with a single blaster. I really am. I made a miscalculation because apparently the regeneration on the Colgate makes a huge difference. And instead of taking 35.66 seconds, he actually ended up taking 50 seconds. So that's almost double the time. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I hope you didn't decide to do this just because you saw my post. But in the future, definitely put on some beam cannons so that you can actually break the Colgate in less than a minute. Because when you do this for both Colgates, and it takes 2 minutes to break 2 Colgates, at that point, it's just not even worth trying. And I mean, what if I had a third Colgate? Then what do you do, right? You're not even going to be able to loot any resources because you just wasted the entire time breaking Colgates. So, don't do this in the future. Be prepared. But I guess thank you for confirming that the regeneration does make a huge difference at the very least. So the first person who actually did a full-on hack on me was Umbrella, level 32, and he didn't actually get anything. So it seems like what he did was that he also tried to do the stealth portal plus Kraken combo, which I see some people do, and I don't really understand, because if you think about it, when you portal, you don't get to use the Kraken because the Kraken has to come from net connections. So that's why I don't really understand why someone would use both portals and Krakens, but if maybe someone has a specific strategy that involves both, you can let me know. But the way I see it, might as well save that 7, well wait, it's 7 slot per Kraken, so that's 14 slots for more Ice Wall or Protector or Beam Cannon or something. So here we have the Kraken coming in, and we already saw how big of a difference that the antivirus makes onto the Colgate, because the Colgate is already almost down from that one Sentry hitting it, and I think that was 2 Krakens on it, which is pretty powerful actually. And here we see that the turret actually went down just from the antivirus alone, because if you look, the turret is taking so much damage just from the antivirus that most of the damage at this point is coming from antiviruses and not even the security node. And then he loses the Colgate even. So he pretty much just didn't even get past the first choke point yet, and it's already been 1.5 minutes. And now he's gonna try again, but this time without the protector, which is an even bigger mistake. And even though the Kraken is doing a really good job at breaking that one turret, we see that the antivirus is making a huge difference, and it's significantly harder for them to hold on to this turret now that I have the new antivirus. Similarly, we have NeverGoBack, who also tries to use stealth. And it seems like a lot of people are trying to use stealth these days, but scanner, level 10, definitely a good decision. So don't regret it at all. And at this point, it's pretty clear that he's not going to get it, so I'm not sure why he tried to use the Wraith anyway, because that was definitely a waste of 100 B coins, and I would not recommend that. So kind of get an idea of how much visibility each program costs, and just don't use it if you're not going to make it. Save the B coins. So we see here, in fact, that the Koga almost went down if it wasn't for, I think, that last minute worm reinforcement. Otherwise, the Koga might have just went down to the scanner. And here he's actually having to use double blaster, but his ice wall isn't going to hold, since he apparently has no protectors for some reason, and he's just lost that turret again, which showcases how strong the antivirus is right now, because it's taking down the turret with 3 connections. And he's just spamming ice walls. He even had to replace a blaster because he had to use so many ice walls. And he's trying to stabilize, but with the antivirus on, it's just not working out for him. Because as soon as he took over both the Sentry and the Black Ice, the turret comes back, and then the turret breaks through the scanner, and then the scanner comes back, which breaks through the code gate. And now everything is getting taken back all over again. And we can just clearly see that getting this antivirus is making a huge difference, whereas normally with the previous older antivirus, they probably would have broken through this first choke point now. But now he just got reset all the way back to the second code gate because, yeah. And he gave up because I guess he saw there's a minute and 10 seconds left and he's almost out of ice walls. So Protector, even more important now. And this is level 6 ice walls, by the way. Also want to showcase Goofy, who got a semi-successful hack. Well, actually, no, it's not semi-successful. He just got the core, which I can't say is too successful, but anyhow, he is level 35, so he should have a slight advantage. And as we can see here, that his beam cannon is actually the same level as mine. His blaster and protector is the same level as mine. And he has a higher level ice wall and higher level shuriken and higher level, well, wraith as well. So I think he definitely put a lot of his level into his program. So this is definitely going to be a slightly harder attacker to hold. But I'm not sure why he is still using the worms, because as far as I have seen, the worms is almost always a bad idea. It screws you over more often than it helps you, because more often than not, you just end up waiting for the worm, and then you just lose the node because the worm just never comes because it's spreading to the wrong direction. Or the worm just never spread in the first place because it's getting blocked off by something, since it doesn't override your nodes or anything like that. But anyhow, he is on the scanner now, and we see here that even though he is using a level 5 protector, he is having to continuously support it with a new ice wall, just because otherwise the protector is not going to be able to hold. And we see here that because he has level 10 beam cannons and level 7 ice wall, he did manage to get secure this first choke point. But immediately after, he is already struggling on the second choke point on the scanner here. And this is something that admittedly I do a lot too, where I just underestimate how strong the antivirus can be on choke points like this. Because when you have strong antivirus and you're forced to target the core, it's actually a lot stronger than you think, and you pretty much have to use a protector on this, because if you use ice wall, you're going to end up using like 4 or 5 ice wall, and you might even need to use a blaster, because with only beam cannon, the DPS is just a lot lower. So he actually made a really good call here, switching onto the protector and then adding onto the blaster. But then the problem here is that he doesn't have any more protectors, and he's just lost another ice wall, because this point is apparently even stronger now with the new antivirus. So I think that was only 4 hits now, whereas before it was 6, if I saw that correctly. And so now he's just relying entirely on ice walls. And even though his beam cannon was able to get through, he ended up losing these points, or, well, not the point, the node, and he also wasted his final ice wall on that one sentry. But even if he did get it in, it's likely he might not have made it anyway. Now, here's a problem though, because for some reason it targeted the sentry first, even though I wanted it to target the black ice. I did make a post on the Hackers forum about this. I'm not sure why it's happening. It's supposed to target this black ice after it targets the turret, and these two sentries last. Since after all, if it targets these two sentries first, it kind of defeats the purpose of having them. Since they're supposed to be the weak nodes, just attacking with antivirus only. But overall, that was definitely a pretty strong attacker, and I'm glad that the higher antivirus was able to stop him. So, let's get a hack in so I can get my core upgraded. This person has a lot. 282k and 10k B coins? What does he have that gives him so much money? This is a decent choke point. Why is everything connected to the core though? And I guess once I get past here, there's really nothing. Especially since it's an upgrade. Oh, it looks like he might be focusing on Sentry first too. I mean, that's what it seems like. Looks like it's similar playstyle to me, but he has 3 farms, so it's still a bit different. So let's see what he got. So since I only have 3 slots here, and this is probably a level 6 or 7 Kogate, I'm gonna end up using Blaster on both. Maybe once I get level 12 beam cannon-ish, I think then I can break a level 6 or 7 Kogate with only beam cannon. I think double the Kogate level is a good number for breaking the Kogate with only beam cannons, to be safe. And I guess it's fine that I'm using my blaster here, because I think this is the only point where I need the blaster. And once I break these 3, then I think the rest is easy. Because, yeah, he's definitely sacrificed some security nodes so he can get triple farm, but it does look like he is playing the maxed out Sentry playstyle as well. And since we did catch his Sentry on upgrade, this is unfortunately going to be kind of easy. So, I guess he's just going to have to live with it. I mean, to be fair, I get caught with my Sentry down a lot too. So I guess sometimes you hack, and sometimes you get hacked. Who said that again? I'm pretty sure someone said that. I don't remember who said that though. It was definitely from a video that I watched. If you're the person who said that, then credits to you. Sorry that I can't remember. And yeah, so since he doesn't have an antivirus here, this is pretty much just easy, so I don't think I really need to even show this. I'm just going to skip over to when we're done. Yeah, but yeah, I feel his pain. Every time my antivirus is down, it's just easy. There's like just no challenge. And it's pretty much the same for him with this playstyle. So I really hope to get up to maxed out Sentry sooner rather than later, because I mean, at least then I don't have to worry about losing the Sentry. Oh, but wait, I still have to worry about losing the scanner, because eventually I need to max out the scanner too, and every time the scanner goes down, they're just gonna raise the Sentry. So a lot more weeks of pain to come until, well, then I don't have to worry about it ever for, I don't know, the rest of the game, I guess. I also made a bit of a mistake here. Yesterday I said I was going to upgrade the Evolver, but I realized that the Protector doesn't actually finish fast enough. It has an extra 12 hours attached to it, so I'm actually not going to finish upgrading the Protector by this time. So I'm just going to go ahead and go straight onto the core. And I'll just probably leave it overnight with 52k B coins, which I'm gonna trust my Sentry. I think I got this. Yeah, I'm only gonna be down the core, so it's not gonna be that bad. So one thing to note though is that if I want to get the core, I need to have 4 net connection, And the only place I can really put a net connection is to use this node. So I'm going to have to temporarily weaken my defenses for now by detaching this node and then putting it all the way up front if it comes over and attaching it to the program library. And then I will add the net connection onto, well, I definitely don't want it onto the core. Not sure why they thought that's a good default. That's a terrible default, in fact. And I'm going to put it onto the evolver. So this means I will be more vulnerable to the Kraken since they can have 4 now. Although nobody ever uses 4, I think, since it's like 28 program slots or library space. And all they get is the core. It might not be worth it as much. And this part isn't going to be as good anymore because it's only going to be attacked by the Guardian, and it's going to attack the Guardian first. But it's only going to be temporary, and even if they do attack the Guardian first, it's still going to take some bit of damage. So if their beam cannon isn't sufficiently high level, they still might lose this, because I think, yeah, it was 4 hits to take down the Bitcoin mine now. So they better put an ice wall or just have a really strong beam cannon. Alright, so level 9 core, 8 days, 3 million, 1,291 credits are on a complete instantly. In fact, I can't even complete it instantly. That's how long it is. But good thing that's why it's a good thing I unlocked the 5th thread instead. So now I can knock it down to 1 day and 14 hours. So still gonna be a while, but not nearly as bad. Alright, so I guess that's all for today. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, thank you.